Hi, my name is Benjamin. I'm 9 years sober. I continue every day to look to help others, to give back to those who have helped me, and to the community that's given me everything back into my life.
I'm Heather Champion. I'm a licensed mental health counselor with a private practice. I met Ben while working at an outpatient treatment center called The Retreat that's not here anymore. We've maintained our friendship since then and enjoy taking time to talk about therapy and our lives as champions.
Disclaimer: the content of this video is intended for informational use only. It is in no way intended as a replacement for medical or psychological advice. Should you have a medical or psychological issue, please consult with a medical professional. Hey everybody, it is the Real Champions podcast. My name's Heather Champion.
I'm Benjamin Champion.
And in the back napping there, that's Miss Sammy Rose Champion. She's gonna get a massage in a little while from somebody who is learning how to help with doggy arthritis and things like that. So Miss Sammy's gonna have a nice little special time in a little bit. But last time we were talking about Ben getting his 5-year coin, and he was just telling me about that experience. So, oh, 10 years. Sorry, my bad. 10-year coin. And so, Ben, do you want to explain a little bit about what is the 10-year coin? What does that symbolize? What is it about? What do the coins do
Yes.
in AA?
So in the fellowship of AA, they denote times of sobriety. Usually in the beginning, first year is the real big ones. Most places do white for 1 to 30 days, and then each home group has a different designation of color, but they usually go 1 to 30 days, 60, 90, 6 months, 9 months, and then you get a gold coin, where an inflated coin on your 1 year, and then moving forward. And the importance of it is you get to see people grow not only within themselves in the rooms, but the really interesting thing that I saw this weekend on Friday was the difference in the cheers as you go. First, 1 to 30 white chip, everybody cheers, of course. 30 days, 60, 90, we cheer, but you're in the midst of it. But I really notice on that 9 year, it really starts to light up the clapping. And then when you hit that 1 year, it's when your 1 year is coming up, you see the amount of excitement. And the fun thing for me is I not only watch the people clapping, I watch that person's face. Because me, I hate people clapping for me. I hate everybody looking at me. But I'm like most people where, no, we deserve that. And we learn to smile through that as it comes each time. And I watched this one guy get his 1 year where raise his hand, and he has 1 year coming in June. And to watch his hand go up and kind of the nervousness of his face to the moment everyone started clapping and people started patting him on the back for his face to light up. And oh my God, I did this, reminded me why it was so important to be there. Because for me on my journey, I've kind of stepped away from AA probably around year 5 or 6, and I did exactly what they say in the rooms. Is I got in a relationship, moved away from my area, life got good. I didn't make the time to go back to the meetings. And what I'm finding coming around back on year 10 is that's where I needed to be this whole time. It was just interesting the amount of people that came up to me without me, going to them to check on me, to see how I've been. It reminded me just how close and how much those rooms can mean to somebody if you fully embrace them. Because, 10 years is a lot. And again, it's something I struggle with because to me, it's what I'm supposed to do. But as I've been reminded very often recently, is I had a choice to drink every day and I chose not to. It wasn't something I had to do. I chose not to. So for me, it's remembering that this was a choice I made and I should celebrate it. So it's a little bit of both. It's a awesome experience. It's also one to me as a person of just kind of, that's what I'm supposed to do, guys. But reality is what I'm learning is I have to show up to really see it.
Well, the thing is, I think, yeah, it's what we're supposed to do, but we still need to give ourselves a pat on the back when we do the things that are hard. And I think that we get lost in that, so last weekend I went to a networking event in Sarasota, which I live in North Central Florida, so I live about 2 hours north of Sarasota. And I'm a homebody. I would much rather have been home instead of getting in the car and driving 2 hours to go to, it was a neuro event. So we went to one of those places that does ECT work, and they have all these other types of neurocognitive type of calming things you can do. Like they have one of those anti-gravity pods where you kind of like lay down and you put the mask on and the earphones, and then they spin it so you feel like you're floating in the air. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm
Oh,
trying.
cool.
They had the cryo, they had the sauna, they had another meditation pod that you sit in and it comes down over you. And again, it's like the mask and the earphones. But they also do brain mapping, QEEG stuff, all that stuff. And so I went there, and like you, I hate being the center of attention. I don't like to, like I'm good in very small gatherings. Like when I used to live down there by you, I had made friends with a couple who lived in my neighborhood, and they were always throwing parties, and they were always like, "Oh, it's gonna be like 40, 50 people. It's gonna be a great party." And I'm like, no,
Nope.
because in that party, I'm going to know you, I'm going to know your husband, and I'm going to know your dog. So you know who I'm going to sit and talk to the whole time? Your dog. Because
Yep.
that's it. Like that's because I'm going to be nervous and uncomfortable. And yeah, no, no, thank you. That's not for me. I don't like big parties. I don't like parties in general, but big parties are really bad. If you want to have a dinner party and there's just like six of us at the table, yes, nice quiet conversation. I'm down for that, but not the big stuff. So going to one of these like networking events where I don't know if I'm going to know anybody. I'm just kind of like putting myself out there and saying, oh, hopefully I meet somebody and I could like find, that I can talk to and cling to for a while until I feel a little bit more comfortable. It just so happened that I made the 2 hour drive there. I finally roll up. By the way, Sarasota looks a lot like West Palm Beach.
Mhm.
I roll up and I'm like, am I in West Palm again? But anyway, I roll up, I go inside, and sure enough, the people that were running it, I actually met in December.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? They were the people that were
That's nice.
doing the psychodrama um,
Okay.
event that I went to, and they're going to be doing the psychodrama cruise I'm going on next month, or actually later this month. Um, so I was like, oh my goodness, I actually know people here. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then, we had lunch, it was so nice. We all chatted. I made a few new connections. And then I ran around the corner to my aunt and uncle's house and visited with them for a little while before I got in the car and drove home. And I had to ask one of my neighbors to check in on my dogs for me. And it was, although for some people that may not seem like that big of a day, it was a lot for me. I mean, a
Hmm.
lot for me. There was a lot that went on there, between the 2 hour drive, the meeting new people, the fear of like not knowing what it was going to be like, all of that stuff. That was a lot. When you're a shy person, this is a lot of stuff. So I get it. And the thing is that like when I got home, I was like, go me. I did it. I went and I did it. I went out there. Like I may have not made, lifelong friends, but I got to talk to other people and I got to interact with other people. And that's an important thing for someone to do, especially when you live in a little town like I do, and there's not a lot of other people that, I think there's like six therapists in the entire county here. So not a lot. Oop, did I lose you, Ben? You're frozen. No, you just froze there for a little bit. I was like, are you there? Are you there? I can't hear you. You just sit there. Oh, anyway. So yeah, we have to pat ourselves on the back for doing the things that are hard.
Yeah, and that's what I'm realizing. And my friends are getting a lot better at checking in on me after I go out and do those things.
Yeah.
Like I texted Justin when I was leaving Christie's at like 10, and he texted me back 10 minutes later. You're still at the house at 10 o'clock on a Friday night? Like, congratulations. Keep
Yeah.
doing that. And as much as I want to read it as a childish thing, it's really that inspiration of, oh, I can do this.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. Like I am out past 10 o'clock. Okay. Um, but that's what I always try to impress on my clients is the littlest things are the things that keep you going. You
Mhm.
know, nobody's gonna know you like your best friend knows you. If they know you being out past 10 o'clock for you is a huge goal and you achieved it and they cheer you on like a 10-year-old, take that cheering because the world ain't here to cheer you on. The people that love you are.
Mhm.
And it's those little reminders that keep me going and are reminding me of, oh yeah, I do enjoy going out. Or I
Mhm.
do enjoy being around people. I just put in my head that I don't. Reality is I do very well when I'm out there.
Mhm.
But it's the fear of going out there and doing it.
Yeah, it's like, and it's a silly fear. It's kind of, and we put ourselves down for having it. It's like, no, I can't put myself down for this. Like, I have to understand that these things are hard for me. As much as I wish that, I was this outgoing person, I'm not as outgoing as maybe I once was. Maybe pre-pandemic, I was a lot more outgoing. These things were a little bit easier. But I would say even back then, not so much. Like I've always dreaded networking events. I've always struggled to make friends. I think the difference was that, especially when I was back on Long Island, I was always running into people I knew
Hmm.
because Long Island's a very big small town.
Yep.
And so I just knew people because I knew them. I grew up in a really small town and I ran into people all the time that I somehow knew. So it was easier. It's like, oh, well, I feel more comfortable because most likely I'll run into somebody that I know. But once I moved to Florida, when I started to kind of rebuild my life in Florida, it was like I could be anybody I wanted to be. And that was fun for a minute, but then really intimidating because I was like, well, I don't know who I want to be.
Yeah. Very true. That's what I struggle with going out is, a lot of people have this idea of Ben 9 to 5 is the person very nice, very kind, and everything. Reality is, when it's my time, I'm still kind, but my face will not say that. Like, I want to get in, get out of where I am. I have a goal in mind for where I'm going, what I'm doing there. So I don't do well with those, but I think that's also some of the parameters I set on for early sobriety for myself is there is no longer Ben and Heather going out to Tucker Dukes. And oh, by the way, when you get there, there's gonna be six people you have no idea who they are. They don't know about your life, that you don't drink. I said very early on in my sobriety, if me and Heather are going out, that's all I'm going out with. If there's extra people coming, I'm good. I'm not doing it.
Right.
So I mean, it was a very big pro in my early sobriety, and I still think it is because my phone has no drama on it.
Hmm.
Con though is I kind of limit the amount of new people I can meet because of that.
Well, I
But
think
it's a
that
pro and con.
to a point though, like in our field, like you're not a therapist, but you do work in the field, like, right? You do support and do all that stuff. It's also self-preservation
Sure.
because of the fact that, like, for me personally, Um, I'm in the gym 4 mornings a week. Usually I get there around 6-ish and I'm there till about 7:15, 7:30. And Mondays I stay a little later because I don't have to be at the office until later. But as soon as I get in, I put on noise canceling headphones and I wear a low brim hat and I wear it pretty low so I really can't see other people. And that is for self-preservation because that is my me time. My
Yep.
job is talking to people. That 3 days a week, like Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I listen to people talk about their lives 8 sessions a day. So that's 8 hours of listening to people. And then on Saturdays, it's four. So that's a lot of time, right? That's like what, 30 hours of listening to people talk about themselves. And when you're this type of a person, Like certain types of people are meant to do this work. And if you're that type of person, it doesn't matter if you're on the clock or not, people feel inclined to tell you about their lives.
Yep.
And because of the type of person you are, you kind of like you feel the need to be supportive, even if it's not the healthiest thing for you.
Yeah. And
I think,
it's hard to explain to people outside of this field. Like I try to explain that to my mother, and she just doesn't get
you know,
the drainingness it takes of. And I tell the clients this too.
mhm,
From 9 to 5, it's all about you. That's why you don't see me take breaks. That's why you don't see me do anything other than focus on you. But I made them all very aware too, so they can learn this too. You need to have that separation. And the moment I'm home, don't care about y'all. Love y'all. Don't care about y'all.
no,
Because if I'm going to be my best version for you on Tuesday, then I need to stop at 5 and do my life and bitch and moan to my friends and work on myself to be the best
right,
version for you later. And
right.
I was telling them that today in group is I will love to see you guys outside of here. I will cheer you on from a distance, but this same person you get here, maybe a few of you will get that, but majority is, hey, good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. Keep
Mhm.
it moving
Well, then,
because this is my time to recover.
right. And when you add on top of that HIPAA,
Hmm.
so, and HIPAA states that basically, like, we're not allowed to let somebody know that we have a therapeutic relationship with somebody, a medical therapeutic relationship, essentially, right? And so saying hi to somebody in the grocery store could indicate to another passerby, if they know what I do for a living, they might think that that person is my client. And so, no, I can't say hi to you in the grocery store. And so, yeah, when I go out, when I go to the stores, I wear a low brim hat. And it's not just because the sun's super strong in Florida, but also because I don't know who I'm going to run into. Right. And I don't, and on the flip side of that, right, I run into a client I try to establish with my clients, like, hey, if you see me out and about and I don't say hi to you, please don't be offended. I can't talk to you. It's HIPAA and it's just better. And it's also like, I don't think you want to talk to me in the grocery
No.
store or in Home Depot. I don't think you really want to. And they kind of laugh at me, but I'm like, honestly, like it's an uncomfortable position to be in, like to see outside of this context each other. So
Hmm.
I just want you to know, like I wear a hat usually when I'm not, but it's kind of like cutting ourselves off from the world because I saw it from the opposite perspective recently, again at the gym. I was at the gym and there's this guy that comes to the gym and we started chatting a little bit and I found out that he is a helicopter paramedic at one of the local
Wow.
hospitals down here. Right. Super cool job. And I was
Yeah.
like talking to him about it. I'm like, wow, that's such a cool job. And he's like, it's very taxing. I'm like, yeah, but it's just cool. He's like, it's very taxing. It's very, he said that like 15 times in the span of like one sentence. I was like, wow, okay. I guess it's a hard job. And the thing is, though, that like he does the same exact thing. He comes into the gym, puts on his noise canceling headphones, and wears his hat low and keeps to himself. He doesn't talk to people. And I remember sitting there one day and I was like, I'm just trying to be friendly to the guy. And he doesn't even make eye contact with me. I'm like, that's kind of rude. And at the same time, like there was this couple that usually is in the gym around the same time as me. And a couple of times, like when we were walking in, I said, hey, how are you? We chit-chatted a little bit, but I really don't talk to them that much. And they always look a little disappointed when I see them that I'm not super chatty with them again. And I'm watching this guy walk away, like walk by me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I bet you he's doing the same thing that I do. Because, like, for me, I'm sitting there in my head thinking to this couple, I'm not being rude. It's self-preservation.
Hmm.
This is my me time. And then I watch the guy walk by and I'm like, oh, he's probably doing the same thing. This is his self-preservation as well. This is his therapy time because his job is super taxing, just like mine is.
It's true.
So,
It's
so I recognize that from the outside, right? We may seem super rude to people, and it's like we're not being rude. It's not being rude at all.
It's that reminder you don't know what's going on in somebody else's world. Everybody you walk by is carrying their own baggage.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't
And it's a
know.
good reminder. Sometimes we need that is, oh,
Mhm.
shit, I'm doing the same thing they are. Never mind. It's not them. It's not me. It's
Oh
us
yeah.
trying to protect ourselves.
That was kind of
Yeah.
like a like that was a light bulb moment over my head for sure. I was like, oh, he's not being rude. Self-preservation. I do the same thing. Like, because there's a few people that I see in there, and I know like whenever I make eye contact with them, they're like, I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not
But
here.
that's a great feeling also,
Yeah.
is when I do acknowledge it, oh, there are people is are here to acknowledge me.
Mhm.
That's great. When I
Yeah.
need it, I know it's there. And that's what I love. That's what I love about going back to this room in AA is they know I'm very shy. I don't like talking much. But when I do give them that certain look, they know they can come open up to me and talk to me.
Mhm.
So it's one of those. I think it's just you learn how to do it in different facets of life, and some people are gonna get it, some won't. But at the end of the day, if you have good people with you that do understand you,
Mhm.
you don't need the rest. And
Yeah.
that's what I found. You might not understand why I do what I do, but as long as the people on my phone who love me and want to see me persevere through this addiction get it, then I'm good.
Mhm.
And the one thing I've taken on with this girl Erica I told you about, I think it was like the first or second message we were sending back and forth. I said, "Oh, what are you doing?" It was like Saturday. She's like, "Oh, I'm drinking, hanging out on my back porch. What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm going down to the pool. They drink there. I don't drink." "Oh, you don't drink?" "Yeah, 10 years sober." "Oh, that's great. Congratulations. What are you doing the rest of the day?" And that was it. It wasn't stuck on this. And it was interesting because she sent me a voice note later that night. "Hey, actually, over time, I want to open up to you more. I've had my struggles too."
Mhm.
And it was just one of those things where it's take or leave it.
Yeah.
Either, and I told her, I said, I'm either going to be 100% honest with you or I know how to lie very well and I can convince you I'm somebody else.
Mhm.
What version do you want? And she's like, I think it's mature of you. I said, okay, cool.
Right. Well, I think it's really funny because people in recovery are usually really afraid to tell somebody that they're dating that they're in recovery because like a few years ago when I first moved up here, I dated this guy that I met like online and we went out on our our first official date and the waiter comes by and he asked if we wanted something to drink. And I was like, I ordered a glass of wine, not thinking about it. I'm on a date. I usually do have a glass of wine on a date. And he was like, oh, no, 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 no. I'll have sparkling water with lime. And I was like, oh. And I'm
You're
like,
one of them.
that's an AA drink. That's a person in recovery's drink. I'm like, but I didn't say anything. I was like, no, I'll let him open up because I've dated other people in recovery and it's not that big of a deal. I really don't care. Um, and I waited and waited and waited for him to say something because every time we went out on a date, he never drank. And I was just like, okay, I guess, whatever. I guess he doesn't, either he just doesn't drink or he's in recovery. But he did want to talk about AA and things like that and psychology stuff. So I was like, I think he is.
Yep.
We ended up going separate ways because he lived over an hour from my house with
Hmm.
traffic. When there's no traffic, it was easy to get together, but then like his kids went back to soccer and he was all day, at the field doing soccer. So that was the end of that. And so I'm sitting there on Facebook recently and I'm scrolling through the people you may know. And I see this person and I'm like, oh, they look really familiar. How do I know that person? So I'm like, let me look at their profile and see if I can place where I know them. And I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, oh my God, it's that guy that I went out with like for like 3 months. And I get to one of the first posts on this account because I knew he had said he had gotten rid of his Facebook and then he redid it, but only specific people that were allowed on it. First post, one of the first posts was, I can't believe a year ago today I walked out of a jail. And I was like, oh, you got a DUI. That's why you're sober now. Like, not just you're
Mm.
sober, but you have a DUI. Wow. I'm like, well, you know what? You could be honest about that. It's fine. I don't care. I don't
I
have a,
think you need to.
yeah. I mean, like,
Uh, And that's always been my confliction with AA is the first steps is openly honest.
yeah.
What are we doing? Like, and That's always my thing, is I'd rather from day one, the only reason I am sober, and the clients know this, and somewhere up in the heavens, they know this. There was a woman and her daughter. When I hopped on the planes, never been on a plane by myself, never been on a plane by myself over 21, and never all those things. Plus, I couldn't drink on a plane.
Mm.
I get on the plane, I'm nervous, and the mother simply just asked me, "Hey, why are you on the plane?" I said, "Well, I just left rehab. I'm an alcoholic and I can't drink anymore. I'm going down to Florida." She said, "So you can't drink?" I said, "No, ma'am, not anymore." And as the lady came with the cart, she just kept watching my face and seeing my anxiety get more and more.
Mm.
As the lady comes about to ask if I need anything, lady shoots her hand across my chest and her daughter's chest. "He's not drinking. He can't drink anymore. He'll take a water. Don't ask." And I tell the clients this. I said I had two options.
Mm.
One, look at her and say, "I'm a man. I can do this my own." Or two, admit that I could not do that yet.
Mm.
And I tell the clients, because of that woman is why I'm here today. Because somewhere in my hopes and dreams that this woman runs into one of you people out there or myself somewhere in a meeting or a church and just something hits her and reminds her that she did this.
Mm.
And reality is, if I didn't have the courage just to say I'm struggling, then that may have never happened. I might not be in front of us today.
Mm.
I think the only way to do this is being honest, admitting, "Hey, look, I have a little couple of traits that make me a little different than the rest of the world. But if you're here to love me, then you're to love everything within me. If not, then I don't need to lie, nor do I need you in my life."
Mm.
That's why I always tell clients, if you can't just tell someone, "Hey, I'm an addict or an alcoholic and I can't do certain things like you do," then right off the bat, they don't need to be in your life because they're not going to cheer you on when you are succeeding. They're going to wait for the other shoe to drop, and we don't need those people in our lives anymore.
Mm.
So tell people who you are, because at the end of the day, it will really help you limit who's not good in your life and who's there to ride it with you.
Mm.
I'd rather have a bunch of people ride the waves with me and pull me out of the water when I need it than have a bunch of people cheering me to sink.
Sounds good.
Keep it simple.
And keep giving yourself a pat on the back when you do the right thing.
I'm winning.
We got if we got to be our own cheerleaders. I think that's the biggest thing. People get so mad at themselves for not being good enough. It's like, no, you got to learn to accept exactly who you are in every moment, warts and all, and give
We got
yourself.
to learn how to celebrate ourselves. So, for anybody listening to this podcast and wants an uplifting song, we've been playing recently. It's called "Celebrate Me" by Igna Rose. It's on YouTube. It is a uplifting song that takes. I do it in front of a lot of male clients because the woman singing at the very end, she says, "If you're a strong woman." And it caught me off guard at first too. I'm like, "Oh, this relates to everybody." But when she said it, I'm like, "No, this is specific because I want to watch grown men cry to this." And at the very end, realize that they too are just like everybody else. Doesn't matter if this song's all about a woman until they find out the end. And it's funny because the amount of men, when I turn it on, "Oh, Ben, is this Celebrate Me?" Women will do it, but the majority are men, which just is awesome to me because it's showing that they're getting it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter at the end of the lyric, it says woman. It's talking about all of us needing help and that celebrate ourselves. Because she says in there, not everybody else is going to celebrate you. So you need to learn how to celebrate yourself.
Hmm.
And I think we need to learn how to be champions of celebrating ourselves.
Yes, that might be a good way to put it there, is to celebrate, not get full of yourself, but
Learn to celebrate the small victories that you never thought you could do.
right, be celebrate the person that you are, not the person you wish you could be.
That's
Anyway,
the dream.
that's it for today, guys. We will see you again in a couple weeks. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Real Champions Podcast, Season 2, Episode 7, 10 Years Sober. What does it mean to be a champion when that's your name? The Real Champions Podcast is co-hosted by Heather Champion and Benjamin Champion. It's edited by Heather Champion. Produced by Maitri Counseling Services, all rights reserved. Questions or comments can be referred to Heather at Maitri Therapy, maitri-therapy.com.
You are not alone. Remember, if you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. For local help, dial 211 on your phone to be connected to resources in your area. If you experience mental health or substance abuse issues, please call the National Alliance or Mental Health or NAMNI at 1-800-950-NAMNI, or in a crisis, text NAMI, NAMI, to 741-741. Check out the NAMNI website, nami.org, for additional resources.